If you look around a small town, there are certain things that you're bound to see. For instance, there's always a town square. And in it, usually a monument of a native son, a statue, somebody who's gone on to win fame and fortune. A man like General Hoppin' Mad Hooterton, the old Indian fighter.
That's right, that's my name. General Hoppin' Mad Hooterton. Yeah. Yes, sir, I remember only too well back here in 1870. The Indians tagged me the old Indian fighter. And that's all I ever fought was old Indians. Oh, you pick on them young fellas, they beat the right out of you. Yes, sir, I used to love to attack them while they was laying out there on the blanket sunning themselves. That was fun, you know, run around on their little body. Yes, sir, I remember that's how I come to get this statue. The Indians gave it to me, as a matter of fact. I remember they was doing a little dance around me one day, jumping up and down. There was a medicine man. He throwed some stuff on me. They called me, what was that name? Wanuka-Poo. I think that was it, Wanuka-Poo. And they throwed that stuff on me, and then the Indians, they'd sprinkle a little water on me. And something happened to me. I don't know what it was. But finally one Indian turned up and he said, stand there until that cement hardens, paleface.
Great talker, the General. Too bad the Indians weren't better listeners. Now, there's somebody else that I'd like very much for you to meet. A man looked up to and idolized by every boy. And I mean the high school coach, Biff Scruggs.
Oh, hi there. You got me looking in my locker. My name's Coach Biff Scruggs. I was never cut out to be a coach. They pulled me out of home economics class. I was having such a wonderful time, you know, making little goodies and brownies and pies, cookies, things of that nature. And then they made me a coach. I know that when I was down in the locker room, you know, diagramming some plays here on the board, I never wanted to do them plays. I always wanted to, you know, make little birds and bunnies and pussycats. And guys always snickered and booed. And then one day, the big homecoming day game for Weaver Falls, I'll never forget that. I told Orville Sufferton to get out there. He was one of my backs. And I said, get out there, Orville, and try that naked reverse. And you know, he was down to his shorts before we could stop him. Terrible, terrible. We got a lot of letters on that. Well, I don't know, it was just one thing after another, and then there was the big, there was a dual track meet between the girls and the boys, the Bertha Quimby School for Girls. And I stood there, and they were kneeling, you know, and getting ready to go, and I went, shot a bird. And they started, and they ran off together, and I have never seen them since. If there's anybody out there in television land with, like, a good home economics teacher, I make a whale of a plate of fudge.
Great guy, the coach, and a real nut on physical fitness.
Here, think back, boy.
Oh, here, Coach. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach. Well, none of us are as sharp as we used to be. No, I take that back. This next neighbor is just as sharp and just as spry today as she must have been on her wedding day over 50 years ago. Maud Fricker.
Oh, hi, honey. Oh, jeez. Yes, sir. It all started way back a long time ago when me and my brother, Lamar Jean, started the first airplane. Oh, isn't that precious? I'll never forget one day he come up to me and he says, Maudie? And I says, yes, Lamar. That's all I could say. He said, I want to fly today. And I says, sure you do, Lamar. He had a funny sense of humor. We went out back and went up there toward Willard's Bluff, and he walked up to a groundhog, and it was funny. It was long about the middle of July, and he'd say, Hi, Mr. Groundhog. It's the 1st of February. There's a funny sense of humor. Then he'd walk up to a cow and say, Hi, Mr. Fox. We kept him cutting the grass a lot. Well, this one day he says, I want to fly. I want to fly, Mud. I said, don't repeat yourself. Go ahead, fly. There he stood up there, handsome man. Had shoulders on him, wouldn't quit. Little teeny waist, about 10. He was wrapped in elephant skin until he was 12. So he stood up there and he says, I'm going to fly. And he taped about 175 pigeons to his arms. Then he got a running start, and he was airborne for about 16 seconds. And then some kid from out of nowhere throwed a bag of popcorn in a stone quarry, and he bashed his brains out.
Did you ever notice in a small town how many folks tend to look alike? Now, this next fella... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Maud, I forgot to ask you about...
Andy, I've told you about this, catching me undressing. I'll get you for this. I ain't a kid.
He will, too. Well, now, every small town has a character like Elwood P. Suggins. Now, we haven't seen each other in... Oh, it must be a good 12 years now. Salt of the earth, old Elwood. Give you the shirt right off his back. Hi, Elwood.
Hi, Andy. Hi. I want to give this to you so bad.
Tony is that kind of fella.
Boy, you're good to get out of all them clothes. Yes, that's right. My name's Fire Chief Elwood P. Suggins. And I used to be fire chief this here town. Notice I says I used to be, till they found out who was setting all the fires. Well, I tell you, a strange thing I did a lot. Well, I tell you one funny thing happened to me. One time, what I was going to do is I was going to set fire to the firehouse. And, well, I tell you, the guys was getting so bugged they wasn't getting any fires, and they was just sitting around, you know, playing checkers and finger painting. And so they was getting bugged. So I decided I wasn't going to hurt them. Don't misunderstand. I was just going to set fire to the firehouse. And what I did before I did that, I took a whole big fistful of lard and I greased the pole, real good like. And when they come down, hit hard, oh, they're still wearing their sneakers up around here. Well, then we was playing around there on our little catch net. You know, we catch folks in from time to time, catch a lot of things in it. And we strengthened the canvas here a couple of days back real tight, so we made it sort of a trampoline. And we bounce up and down in it, you know, and have fun. So we got a 3-alarm fire call, and the back teeth is all broke off. But we went out there at the mayor's house, and he was standing there up on his house in his robe, had a little terracotta robe on, and the place was all aflame, and I says, jump, Your Honor, jump. And I held a card up, and I said, jump, then he could understand. So he jumped, and he ricocheted right out of that thing, right in the sky. We've never seen him since. I don't know where you are, Mr. Mayor. You'll never, your services are dead down in this town, but just keep in mind, you're our only one and only. Gee, isn't it amazing when everything gets all... We was playing marbles, and they all got caught in there, and you're supposed to put them in a chamois bag. So, I don't care what you say, Mr. Mayor. You're our only UFO. God love you.